I'm Mr. D, kayaking wildlife photographer, and today we're going to look at something you may want to consider if you have an Advanced Elements Straitedge kayak. Now, first of all, the Straitedge kayak is an inflatable, and it is an awesome kayak. It's able to fold down into a small package, put it into your vehicle, inflates in less than 5 minutes, and you're on the water. However, it does have one major drawback, and it really been bothering me a lot lately, because when you're out paddling and you're trying to get positioned to a shot for a wildlife shot, you want to be able, your boat, to stay where it is. And with this particular one, you can see the short tracking fin that it has on each end. It doesn't track well. So when you stop paddling, your boat's going to spin. And when I'm lining up for a shot, that's a real problem. So I had to look and say, okay, what can I do to fix this? So I did a lot of research, guys. I mean, a lot of research. And I found this company called NRS. And they put out a supboard fin system. And I like it because it's removable. And you just kind of put it in here like this. You put the pin in, clicks into place, and it isn't coming out. Now, this is a 5-inch fin. Now, the problem that I was looking at with this is some other fin suppliers for inflatables is that the patch was so big and the fin is so big, and it wouldn't work. And one of the other things I had to look at was the folding area when you want to fold it. You don't want it right here because it's going to stop the fold. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to install this NRS supboard fin onto your Straitedge kayak. And I'm thinking it's really going to work well. You're going to see that it's positioned further down the boat than normal because of this tracking fin on the forward and aft end of the Straitedge. So now we're going to go ahead and run you through the installation process. And again, this is something you just may want to think about. I've been thinking about it for quite a while, and now I've settled on the NRS supboard fin. So let's take a look at what's required tools-wise and materials-wise to put this patch on. You'll need 180 grit fine sandpaper or sanding block, a roll of string, a small paintbrush, a cleaning agent like MEK or denatured alcohol, a roller, a graphite pencil. Your adhesive will be Stay Bond UK 148, which came highly recommended based that this is PVC tarpaulin material. You'll need tape, a tape measure, and a microfiber cloth. So the first thing you want to do is find dead center of your boat. Now, one thing that's kind of hard when you look at this boat, it looks identical forward and aft. So you have to determine where the stern of the boat is, because you don't mount this at the bow end. So that's real easy to do with the Straitedge. Right here is the ID number. That's in the stern of the boat, and also the inflation valves underneath are in the stern. So you want to make sure that you're not installing this on the bow of the boat. So the first thing you got to do is find center. This is where the string comes in. So go down to the stern center of the stern frame, and you want to tape that piece of string right center, and that'll hold that in place. Now you're going to do this multiple times to keep center of the boat. Now, as you can see here, this is not as straight as it was because it's been folded multiple times. I've been in the water multiple times, so it gets a little bit out of shape. So the importance of running off the stern and bow frame is really important. But then you try to line it up like that, you'll see if it's straight, and then when you get there, you just tape it down. And then we're going to do the same all the way across the boat. Well, center line's been determined, You can see it here. That's where the center of the fin's going to go. Now, to determine what's forward and aft on your fin patch and mount is the opening, or the T-mount here is where the fin slides in. This back here is where the key goes in to hold the fin in place. Now, there's an indentation of the center line right here that tells you what's center, and same thing on the forward end. So what I did is put a small dot, and then I draw a line that's equal to that center point, and then critically here, put a small S. That means that's the stern, so when you get ready to put this patch on, you put it in the right spot. Now I had to determine where this boat folds, and it folds right here, right after the end of this stern fin. So I took 4 inches, just to be on the safe side. I've added 4 inches because this is a hard mount. So with it folded, it'll open it up about 2.5, 3 inches, but it won't get in your fold plane. So that's important that you do that. So once you've determined that, now you take your tape measure, run it right to the edge of where they adhered the fin, right to the edge of it, and measure out 4 inches and mark that spot. Now I use a graphite pencil here because it'll really mark really well on this. And what you want to do is right at your center line, just on the line, you want to put a small line that's center, and a small line of your center line here. As we've got our center lines all set, and then what we're going to do is we're going to remove the string now. Now the next thing to do is to align, again checking the stern, your center line with your 4-inch marker, and then line your center line up top. Now you're going to outline the patch. Now, the boat is inflated but not fully inflated. The outside chambers are full to 2.25 psi. However, the floor is not. And it's not to its 1 psi. It's probably 0.5 psi or maybe 3/4. Because when I want to put this patch on, I want it to depress a little bit. And then when I hit it with the roller, it'll flatten all the edges out. But the next thing you want to do is outline the placement of the patch. Again, double checking that you're on center. Now, just draw. And the graphite pencil really works well here, guys. Because we're setting up now where we're going to clean and prep the area. Now once that's all traced, you can put your patch away. Now with everything outlined, you can see where your fin patch mount is going to go. And now it's just time for cleaning and prep. Now with everything marked in the placement of the patch, it's time to prep the surface. So you take your cleaning agent, MEK, denatured alcohol, or whatever one you're using, and you clean the surface area. Now some of your graphite line will come off, but that's okay. It all won't come off. And you want to really clean this area up, making sure there's no oils or anything like that, so make sure it's really clean. Then wipe your surface. Okay, the next thing to do is to take your 180 sanding block or 180 sanding paper and roughen up the area, taking care not to break through the material. Now, clean up your sanding area. Now you want to score your patch on the inside of the patch the same way. Now your surface is prepped and ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and prep the other boat the same way before we do the adhesive, because I'm going to do the adhesive on both boats at the same time. Now we're going to mix the adhesive. Now it's kind of important to make sure you have a baggie or some kind of cellophane wrap that it came wrapped in to wrap your brush into, because we're going to go 15 minutes for the first coat and then another 5 minutes after that first 15 minutes, and then we'll apply the patches. Now again, I'm doing 2 boats, so we're going to get started on that. So basically, you open up your adhesive, put in your catalyst, and we're going to shake that up or stir it up really raw. Now get yourself a timer. I'm using my cell phone for that, and set it for 15 minutes. And you're going to brush even coats in the patch area on the patch. Then you're going to take the used brush, wrap it in. I'm using a sandwich bag in this case. Okay, it's all mixed. Now I'm going to do 1 coat here, making sure to get in those marked in areas. A nice even coat. Get your adhesive right there on the edge of your draw lines. You may get a little excess out there, but that's okay. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing for the patch. Put a coat on the patch. It's a pretty powerful glue, so you want to do this in a well ventilated area. I'm doing it out on an open patio, so there won't be any problems with that. Okay, now I'll set my timer for 15 minutes. And while that one's working, I'm going to go ahead and prep the other patch for the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to put the second coat of adhesive on. Again, even coat on patch and surface area. And this one is 5 minutes or until tacky. I'm doing the same thing again. Now this is, you want to do a knuckle test with this. You can start your timer for the 5-minute set and then periodically come in and check it. Just lay your knuckle on it, and if it gets tacky, then that's when you want to set this thing down. Okay, now do the patch the same way. Now remember to keep an eye on where you put that little S, because that's going to play a very integral part here when you place that thing down. Getting the edges is a little bit tricky, so I lay it on the flat surface on that plastic bag so I can get the edges of this thing. And I'm about ready to go do the other one while this one's in its 5-minute ditty. Now that one's done. I'll set the timer, and that timer started. I'm going to go ahead and start the other one and get that ready. And use the knuckle test on that also. Now the time it takes me to apply this second patch should be about the same amount of time that I need for the knuckle test. I gotta make sure all the areas are covered here and apply the bond adhesive to the outer patch. Okay, this one is about done. Now I'm going to do a knuckle test on this one. Where are we at time-wise? Take a look here. 244 into it. Okay, we're going to put this down. Okay, check your stern marker, flip your patch, align it. Roll out any air bubbles. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Now we tape down the edges. Now I'm adding weight to the patch. Here I've added weight. And it'll cure from 12 to 24 hours, and I recommend 24. Well, 24 hours has passed. I guess it's time to check out the handiwork. Let's see how this thing goes. So basically, all you have to do is just take off the tape that you put on. And then check your bond seal, make sure everything is bonded right. So far it looks really good. And there we go. To put this, the NRS 5-inch, you just insert it here, take the key, make sure it gives you a good sounding click. Okay, let's show you how easily this comes off. You unclick it, and you're all ready to set and fold. We have the proper fold distance between here and here, so the boat will still fold correctly. And to insert your fin, go at the top, go here, you take your key, and wait for a distinct click. And there you go. This project is complete. I will leave links to the adhesive video by NRS in the description. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.